Well, hey everybody, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, making another video for you out of Boise, Idaho here, working on the Ford Triton, the 2005 Ford Expedition. If you've been watching my videos, you know this has been one heck of a job. The Triton is a horrible engine, completely unreliable, discontinued. Nobody likes working on them, so we're trying to put a band-aid on this one and get it all back together. I've got the cylinder head back on and all that other good stuff. So now it's time to start getting ready to set up for timing. Now, I'm not sure what procedure you might have performed, whether it's removing camshafts and lifters, whether it's removing cylinder heads, whether it's removing timing chains. This is some of the steps that you're going to take to go ahead and reset this engine back to factory timing. When you finished pulling your cylinder head or pulling your camshafts and lifters out or pulling your timing chain off, the last step that Ford had you do was move this crankshaft to the 6 o'clock position. And so that's where I am at right now. Now there's a special tool that you can use to connect onto here, and it'll move your crankshaft your last step, and it'll connect onto this little nub here, and it'll put your crankshaft perfectly at the 11 o'clock position, which is where you're going to want to be before you set your timing chain up. And so that's what you do there. Until that point, in order to move my crankshaft when I need to, I use a 32 millimeter socket, 6-point, and it just fits right on the end there, and that gives me what I need to adjust and move my crankshaft. So before you install anything, you want to make sure that your crankshaft is at 6 o'clock down there like it's supposed to be. You also want to make sure that your camshafts are completely loose and either out, so that way all of your valves are up, because you don't want any piston to valve connection in here while you're turning things. So alright, I'm going to get you on my head here. I'm going to get to work. I appreciate you guys joining me and hanging out with me. Let's see what we can do here. I want to remove all these old lifters out of here. I also want to keep an eye on them as I'm doing so, for any signs of damage, any signs that none of them are working correctly. See, I'll set my old lifters aside in here for now. Alright. We got 3 more back here to pull out. Okay. There we go. Now I haven't had these lifters out very long, so I'm not too worried about too much dust or particles getting down in there. However, I am still going to get it all cleaned out and all that other stuff. So just going to give it a quick vacuum. Oh, let's see, go in here. What am I looking for? I'm good. I'm good. All right. I feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, now these lifters I've had soaking in oil overnight, and they're brand new. So we're gonna get these installed now. All right, there we go. We got all of our new lifters installed. Looks good. Now, let's go ahead and get our rockers installed. Put you back on my head here. All right, let's go ahead and get the rockers installed. I'm gonna take my my shirt here, and just get all this wiped and cleaned out. Okay. Stuff's getting a little hot sitting out here in the sunlight. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna clean them off with some brake clean. It evaporates. Now that they're nice and clean, drop them in the oil. And we're just going to set them in like so. Oop. You know, it'd probably help if you didn't set them in backwards. There we go. Haha. Okay. Alright, we got 3 there. Let's go and get 3 more. Let that brake clean evaporate off of there. Drop them in the oil. We go get 3 more. All right. Change my camera angle for you guys a little bit here. Hopefully it's good. And here we go again. Gonna lay them down in here. All right. Now that we got those 3 down in there, go ahead and soak those 3 in oil. Keep on moving forward. Let's see, you got our last 3 here. Let those 3 kind of dry off. These 3 here. Whoops. You get that set in there. All right, now we're down to our last 3 on this side. Go ahead and toss these in the oil. This leaves us with our camshaft next. All right. So let's go ahead and get these last 3 installed here. Drop that one. We'll drop this one. And then this one. There you go. So now we got our lifters, we got our rollers installed. Again, let's clean off our areas for our camshaft to lay down in. Make sure there's not any dust or junk down in there. Okay. Now then, I'm going to take some oil on my finger. I'm going to oil these. I'm going to stick oil in them so that way they're not dry when we start this engine. All right, there we go. I'll get you back on my head here. Okay, get our oil out of the way. So now let's take a look at our camshaft and see how this looks. If you ask me, it wouldn't hurt to clean it off a little bit. Knock the dust off of it there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now that it's nice and clean. I'm going to soak this puppy in some oil. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. I've got some oil here. And get some oil all inside of those ports. Get it all over. Mainly inside of those ports. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna take it. Get her laid down in there. Make sure all my rocker rollers are on. Everything's in good shape. And there we go. Our camshaft is now laid in there, and it's nice and loose, which means we can turn the bottom half of our engine. Let's see, the next step is to wipe our hands off. Ruby, stay close. Come here, Ruby. Come here, Ruby. Come here. We're inside. Dogs are going crazy in the neighborhood for some reason. Inside, Ruby. Wonder if there's a stray dog somewhere. Okay, wipe our hands off of all the oil. Now, I'm gonna get my can caps installed. I'm gonna do the same thing with these. And I'm not going to tighten the cam caps down, not until I'm ready to officially set my chain and all that other stuff. Okay, there's one. Make sure they're nice and clean. And like I said, we're not tightening them because we don't want our valves to be compressed. We don't, as we're resetting our engine, we don't want the pistons to hit anything. All right. Yeah, make sure everything's clean. That is a messy job, isn't it? Okay, so now, like I say, you don't want to tighten them. You just want to make sure they're going to be good and secure, even. They're not cross-threaded. And there's really these rear ones that I really just want to make sure. Okay, I'm good here. Alright, and so a camshaft is loose enough so that we know that all of our valves are closed. So we can still turn this engine as much as we want, and we won't cause any damage. It's very important. Doesn't mean that it's set, though, the way it needs to be set. Okay, so now that we got that there, let's go ahead and grab the proper cam gear. We want the one for the right-hand side. No, I'm sorry. Driver's side is the left-hand side. We want the proper one for the left-hand side. Right, left, here we go. Okay. Spray a little bit of white lithium grease on the end there. Make it easier to slide on. Let's go ahead and get her slid on. Okay, and it only goes on one way because it has a little key in the back there. Alright. I'm gonna tell you what, it is not, the camshaft is not set for timing right now. I will be right back. I'm going to go get the bolt to set that up with. All right. I got my cam bolt installed. And there we go. Alright, and our cam is loose. Okay, so our cam is set somewhat at where it's supposed to be TDC. Alright, again, all of our valves are loose. Keep in mind that with them loose like that, all the valves are up, so there's no damage being done. And that's where we're going to leave it at for now. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do the same procedure and set up the other side. And then I'll set in my chain guides and tensioners and my chain and all that other stuff. Now, before I do that, what I'll do is go ahead and install my bottom timing gear, and I think I'll just go ahead and do that now real quick while I got you here. Squirt a little bit of white lithium grease on there. Okay, and now with this installed, it has a different mark on here. And so, when the time comes, we will put that mark, this mark here, we will put this at the 6 o'clock position. And I'll use a special tool that will align my cam key at the 11 o'clock position. And that's what we'll do to get this thing set up. So, well, there you go, folks. Thanks for enduring through me with this long video. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions, shoot me some comments. I'll get back to you. This is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. I'm going to go take a little break and get set up for my next move on this job. I am signing off.